You can go ahead and take a seat. You know, as we hear this picture, it's such a powerful thing to think about the incredible family of God and how intentionally God had brought different people from different backgrounds with different pains, with different problems, and said, "You're part of my family." And I'm imagining that they didn't realize at the time how powerful that would be, and probably realizing, I don't know that I'm that special. But to be invited in is incredibly powerful. Guys, that's what God says about us. And even if this is your first time here, you are meant to be here. There is great intentionality that God said, I'm going to bring you here today, and I want you to be brought into the family of God. And just like that great invitation for everybody, whether you consider yourself a lucky family or one that's gone through quite a lot, there's great hope for all of us because of what God says. But there is an invitation. You know, in the Bible, it talks about this idea of belief, and I think a lot of times we hear this invitation. You know, you can go to the mall, you can go anywhere, there's always people selling. All you got to do is take this and you'll be fine. Buy this or have this and your life will be different. And we tend to start to wonder, is that really true? Could that really be true? And I think a lot of times we come and we hear the same thing about God. God says, just believe, and I'll turn your life around. And you might be wondering, is that really true? You may be thinking, I've gone through a lot, or I'm still suffering through some things in my own life, and I don't really know if I can really have the hope that's talked about. Well, let me give you a picture quickly as we wrap things up here that might be helpful for you. The type of belief that the Bible talks about is a belief that we put, it's not just something that emerges or we just have. It's a belief that we hope in or hope on something. It's anchored to something. And it's like if I were to bring up a stool and bring it up here and say, hey, this is a great stool. It's great craftsmanship, and I can tell you the materials it was made out of, and the angles, and the structure, and the geometry. And this is a strong chair. You can sit on it, and it'll hold you. The design is great. And then if you were to say, okay, great, why don't you sit on it? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit on it. Then you would look at me and say, well, you don't really believe that it holds you. That's the type of belief God talks about. He says, will you believe in me? Will you put the weight of your life on me? And if it does, and in a way that you trust, and if it doesn't work, man, I'm flat on my back. It just falls apart. God says, if you believe in me, you will see when you put your hope in me that I will be there for you. And he says that when you do, you have a new life. You are part of this family. You're part of his eternal family. And if you are here today, and if you're saying, I want that, I want to be part of what I'm hearing about, then I want you to know that right here, right now, in your seat, you can invite God into your life. And you can say, I am believing in you. I am choosing to put the weight of my life in you today. And maybe you've made that decision a long time ago, but you're realizing that there are areas of your life that you've been carrying it and saying, God, I can't trust you. I haven't been trusting you. I'm holding on to it. I invite you today to say, God, I'm going to put the weight of everything on you. I need you. And before you go, this is an opportunity from your heart to God to just pray, God, I am trusting you. I'm all yours. I've seen it in my life. So many of you have seen in your lives that God is faithful. Let's all take out our connection cards. Inside your program, you have a connection card. Go ahead and take that out right now. If you decided today that I'm going to follow him, I'm going to put my hope in Jesus, would you check that first box? I want to give you some resources. I want to be in touch with you. I want to help you to understand all that that means. I'm excited for you. Today is the beginning of your new life. If you're still asking questions, or if there are things that you want to know about, and you're saying, I'm trusting God today, you can put that on there on your prayer request on the back. Maybe you're saying, I know that there are areas that I haven't trusted. Go ahead and write that down. Do that as an act of faith to say, God, I will trust you in these ways. I'm going to finish this year strong, and I promise as you trust him, you're going to see more of him acting in miraculous ways in your life. And if you're interested in finding out about anything else, participating, engaging more, you can find out all sorts of ways you can do that. And in just a moment, we're going to have baskets that'll come by. You can drop that in there. But I want to give you one more way to display your faith and to step deeper into what God is asking you for. And that's through baptism. Right after the service, we have baptism right out in our backyard patio area. Guys, this is a powerful display to say, God, I trust you. It's not about what I've done. It's not that I've made myself clean or that I've done something special. God, I am choosing to trust that you've done it all. I am putting the weight of my life in you. And when we see baptisms, one thing I love is just the joy that people come out of the water with a sense of I have a renewed hope because of what God has done. So, hey, we have shirts. We've got shorts, we've got towels, the water is warm. If you're ready to be baptized, we're going to celebrate with you because we're family. So if you want to, before you go and decorate cookies, come on out to the patio area. Let's celebrate some baptisms because God is changing lives. He's not done with us this year. He's still got more to give and more lives to change. Let's go ahead and stand up, and if there's and as the baskets come out by, you can drop this in. But before we go, let's celebrate. Let's declare that we will hope in God and that we know that He will be able to hold the fullness of our lives.